German. Oh, that's a fair number. Okay, I'm going to do it in English then. And there's one word I still wanted to look up just before we got started here, so just let me complete that. Because there will be a very important word. Okay, cool. All right. Love you guys. So amazing to be here. Who's excited for New Year's Eve and the change from 23 to 24? Who's excited? Yeah! Yeah. And who made New Year's resolutions? And who didn't make any because they're afraid they're not going to stick to them anyways? Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a lot of people here who don't make any New Year's resolutions and who are not afraid that they will fail if they make any. Is that correct? Okay, cool. So I guess you're already in the divine flow, aren't you? All right, good. Just good to know who I'm dealing with today. Used because it wasn't mine. My name is Philipp Eschlimann. I have been working as a quantum coach for the last 6 years. And what I want to share with you today is something that changed my life, that absolutely created a new reality for me. And I hope you can grasp what I'm trying to get across here, because the message essentially will be that what we're doing here, what are we doing here anyways? It feels like, are you, hold your hand up if you think you're a spiritual person. Yeah, come on guys, bring it up. Yeah, you're spiritual. Okay, so we're kind of these new type of hippie spiritual people, and I guess who of you has been feeling a bit weird in today's society doing what they're doing? Who has been feeling weird about that? Yeah, likewise. Sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm like, I got it all wrong. And it feels horrible. And they tell me it's part of the process, but I'm not so sure sometimes. So, and what I want to get across here is this is science. What we're doing is science. And by the way, this is my beautiful brother Luca. And who, like we're in very controversial times, so I can't just judge you by how you look. So who thinks of themselves as a man? Okay, almost no surprises. And I want to say he's an absolutely brilliant and talented coach for men. So if you have issues hitting on women without them slapping you in your face or just turning their back on you, he's the man. And he's the reason why I can talk to women without actually stuttering. So he's really good. And so yeah, we're in the spiritual realm, and what I want to hear, okay? And the reason why I just mentioned him is because we had a conversation about what I want to share with you here today. And he said, or we said, well, you know, actually it's about artgerechte Haltung. That was what I was looking up just before. Who would have known what artgerechte Haltung means in English? I didn't know, right? It's species appropriate, like, you know, like keeping, like, it's like keeping chicken. You don't want to keep chicken in a cage. You want to keep them on the ground for them to be happy, right? And the question is, how do humans need to be held in order to be happy? How do we need to hold ourselves in order to be happy? And that's what quantum physics teaches us, because quantum physics essentially is about how reality functions and what laws there are out there that you need to respect in order to have what you would probably call a good life. Okay? So I'm going to share with you 3 things today, which may be surprising for you, maybe not, but you know, it's not just about the information that I want to share with you, it's also about the vibe that we're actually going to share together. And I've been coaching people on the basis of these pieces of knowledge for the last couple of years, and it's been a blast. It's been a blast. And I personally, I love doing this because it reinforces my will to stay disciplined, because I know I need to keep myself in a species appropriate manner. It's not like I'm not a chicken that is held in a cage, because I make that decision where I'm being held, right? So I make sure I pick my seeds off the ground. Now, if there may be questions arising from today's session, and please, we will have some time afterwards. You can come back to me, and we'll have this conversation. But for now, I want you to interact a bit with me, right? So even though almost nobody has any New Year's resolution, and everybody is just totally in the flow, I'm just like, who has a New Year's resolution? Preferably some here in the front row, but I'm not going to say what we're going to do next. Okay, I know you're scared now, but who has a New Year's resolution? Like, who wants to change something in their lives in 2024? I see this beautiful gentleman. May I ask you to kindly get up? Just, what's your name?
Farid.
Farid?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Farid.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. So, Farid, what do you want to share? What you?
Otherwise, I wouldn't raise.
So, again?
Otherwise, I would have stayed quiet.
Wow, cool. Okay. She's laughing. Why is she laughing? So, what is it that you would like to change, have different in 2024?
So, I'll face this way. For me, the thing about resolutions is I get one every year. I try to do one thing that I want to change for the rest of my life, not just for 1 year. So I try to be rather in concepts than achievements. And for me, the next one will be becoming a yes man. I don't know if you know the movie, but basically it's saying yes to the opportunities that come across you and open your eyes and be aware. And I've done that before with sports, and now I want to do it with everything positive in life.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Willst du mit dem Mikrofon machen? Und wenn es Fragen hat, wenn es rumgehen, dann kann man das Mikrofon auch mit dem bleiben.
Ich bleibe sonst bei dem. Okay, so this is so funny, Farid. This is so funny because this morning I sat down at my table and I was like, what do I really want to nourish in 2024? And I swear to you, I wrote it down. I'm going to say yes, right? Now let's take everybody on that journey. I just want you, on the count of 3, we all say yes together to support this beautiful gentleman, to kick him off into a new year with an amazing blast of energy that is just a resounding yes from all of us. And later I'll give you the scientific explanation for why we're doing this. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, cool. So, 1, 2, 3, yes! Because it was so beautiful, just another one. 1, 2, 3. Did you lower the volume? Okay, cool. I like to be loud. So, I'm going to take you through 3 principles of quantum physics, and I'm going to show you some more stuff afterwards, and we're going to use this beautiful example of saying yes, okay? So, there is something that everybody should know. It's super important. And just for the sake of curiosity, who has heard of the information field? Okay, cool. This is amazing. It's like springtime and nothing has been planted yet. So I want to share with you what the information field is. So what we see as reality is actually a fabrication of our consciousness. Everybody creates reality. Your reality is different from your reality, and your reality is different from your reality. Everybody has a completely different reality. But we're not creating them in the sense that they were not there before. There is a so-called information field, which holds all the possibilities. It holds information, and it actually holds an unbelievable amount of information. Max Planck was the first one to actually talk about the information that is stored. Now, this information is not spatially available. It's actually stored between space and time in the vacuum. That makes things a little bit more complicated to imagine. So how, why is that even relevant? It's because you can think of it as a cloud on a server, a computer cloud, like if you have an iCloud account or whatever, and that's where the information is, and it's useless unless you start to download it, and you decide what you download. From a quantum physical perspective, what we're talking about here, if you ever come across this, I'll just drop it very briefly and you can forget it again. It's the collapse of the wave function. Okay? This is Erwin Schrödinger in 1935 who brought this up for the first time. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because it is actual science, even though a lot of people want to make you believe that it is not. And the reason why they want to make you believe it is not is because you can't measure it unless you have the right technology. And the right technology to measure the quantum field and to draw information from the quantum field is the human intuition. You need a quantum mechanism to download information from the quantum field and to actually transform that information into physical reality, into actions, into matter. And we can do that. We as humans, we can do that. So we're basically the quantum interface between the possible and reality. We are the quantum interface. So you may look at yourself in the morning in the mirror and you think this is a human, but you're not. You're a quantum interface. You are a quantum mechanism. And if you look at, for instance, like a computer chip, it's also a quantum mechanism. And if you compare a computer chip to a human body, you will find that it is also a semiconductor. So I'm going a bit into the technical stuff here, but what I want to say to you is that you are meant to process information. This is what the human body is about. 70% water, 70 billion cells, a lot of neurons, a lot of electricity, a lot of nerves running. You are meant to process information. And that information is the information that comes from the quantum field. And it reaches you through your senses, like seeing, listening, smelling, but also through intuition. So it makes a lot of sense to tap into the quantum field using the perfect technology that you actually are. And if you want to say yes, that is absolutely perfect, because by saying yes, you're basically plugging the quantum mechanism into the power socket. And the yes itself is the mechanism that will kick you off downloading information. So saying yes every morning, saying yes to life, saying yes to experience, saying yes to love, is the greatest way to download the information from the quantum field. And that's where we have this intersection between what we would probably call spirituality and physics. So, first thing, when you get up tomorrow morning, 1st of January 2024, say yes to yourself. Let's practice it, guys. Let's practice it. Let's count to another 3 and just go yes. Is that okay? Yes. Woo! All right. So, 1, 2, 3. Yes! Cool. All right. I was just like, am I going to ask for another one? Like, this is what people typically do when they're on stage. I said, no. But do you want to say yes another time? Yes. You just did it. So, the next thing that I want to share with you is how to change quantum states. Who has changed the quantum state just over the last couple of days? Who has changed the quantum state? Well, you all have, right? I know, you know, right? You know. So, how do you change a quantum state? And now I really need to go back to my notes. This is the note of today's speech. Oh yeah, my God, this is so important. I mean, Okay, so another word for changing the quantum state is letting go. Now, how many people in here have let go in their lives? And how many people have tried to let go in their lives? Okay, I'm going to give you this scientific example for the scientific reasoning behind letting go. Okay, you ready for that?
Yes. Yes.
Can I get a bigger yes?
Yes.
An even bigger one?
Yes.
Well, you're just practicing for tomorrow morning. So, there are fantastic experiments out there, absolutely fantastic experiments, and nobody talks about it, and I don't know why, because they're super inspiring. And one of these experiments is I'm not going into detail, but they took a couple atoms and changed their state through laser radiation, okay? I don't know exactly how that works. I've never done it. I'm a simple guy, but there are people who change the states of atoms through laser radiation. And do we have somebody in here who does that sort of stuff? Okay, cool. You're gonna manifest so many good things this year. So what they did is, it takes a bit of time for these atoms to change. That was the setup. It took a couple milliseconds, which is, in terms of scientific research, is semi-eternity. And what they did is they ran it once and looked at the result of the experiment when it was over, and all atoms had changed their state. And then they ran it a second time, and they looked at the experiment in the middle of the experiment, so exactly after half the time. And then they looked at it again at the end, and miraculously, fewer atoms had changed their state. And then they increased the number of observations to 64 over the entire length of the experiment. And as a result of that, almost no atom changed. Now, why is that relevant? It means that when you look at stuff too often, it doesn't change. Does that sound familiar, like feeling-wise? If you observe it too often, amazing. Thank you. If you look at stuff too often, it just stays where it is. It just doesn't seem to move. Did you ever have health? How many people in here have had health issues in their lives? And was it better to control the condition every 5 minutes, or to just say, okay, I'm forgetting about it? What was better?
Forgetting about it.
Yeah, forgetting about it. It's just better. And it feels better, And the reason why it feels better is because it's natural. If you want to achieve something, you can't look at stuff all the time. And I want to, I don't only read these scientific things, I also read the Bible, because funnily enough, the Bible is very precise about how to use this reality and this planet in a quantum physical way. And the Bible says, not exactly in these words, but it says you should trust. And you can't always, like when you plant a tree. Has anybody ever planted a tree in here?
Yeah.
So if you plant a tree and you remove the seed from the soil every now and then to see if there are already roots sprouting, well, you laugh, but that's what we do all the time. Watch yourself. We do it all the time. We want to control. We want to be sure. We want to make sure that these roots are actually sprouting out of that seed. But we should leave it alone. We have to leave it alone. We need to trust. You can't dig it up all the time. It's like, oh no, there's nothing yet. And then I'll come back in 30 minutes. And then you dig it up again and it's like, still no roots. There's something wrong with this seed. And you keep doing that, and after a while, the seed just goes like, you know what, I don't feel like it anymore. Leave me alone with that tree idea. So that's how reality functions. And I know it's difficult because we like to look at the result. We like to be sure that things are going the way that we want it. And when we don't know, we get scared. How many here know what I'm talking about? How many have been in this place? Well, it's very important that we do that, because if we don't do it, reality can change. If we look at reality all the time, we can change. So your focus does matter. And I'm sure you've heard that many times before, but it also matters in the sense of that sometimes there should not be a focus. You need to let it go, okay? So my advice is to get up in the morning, say yes, and then let it go. Don't think about it, don't worry. Worrying is a great way to make your future shit. So, and that's just quantum physics. So if Mr. Yes, Fahid, wants to say yes, say so with a big feeling in your heart, with love in your heart, with all your passion in the morning, and then you let it go. You let things run their course. Don't think about it anymore. Don't go back and go like, I said yes this morning, I hope something cool will happen to me. I said yes this morning, I hope something cool will happen to me. You know, like, maybe she's gonna cook me some nice dinner, I don't know, maybe not. And the way she looks at me right now, you'll be disappointed. So that's just for you, Fahid, your second piece of advice. Yeah, cool. All right. So that's the second thing I wanted to share here with you. If you have any questions about it, let me know afterwards. And there's the third thing, and that is actually quite emotional, quantum entanglement. How many in here feel not emotional when they see quantum entanglement? Can you? Quantenverschränkung. Okay. So, who doesn't get emotional? How many people in here don't get emotional when they hear the word quantum entanglement? Okay, that's because you don't understand it. Oh, I'm going to help you. I will not leave you alone. You're going to have an amazing 2024 because you know what quantum entanglement is, okay? Believe me. So, again, another beautiful experiment that I want to share with you, and this one is like a bit more easily accessible than what we just had before. They had two people meditate together. And then they separated them. And they exposed one person to light flashes. So they had the person sit in a dark room and flashed their eyes with light. At the same time, the other person was in a dark room as well, with no light, with no flashes, but that person also experienced the flashing light. Then they repeated the experiment with no prior meditation. And the second person did not have any flashing going on. So why is that important? It holds a whole lot of implications for your daily life. Okay? If that, I'm just saying this is how we function. This is physical reality. This is no voodoo. This is no like whatnot. This is just physical reality that tells you how you function. There is entanglement. Entanglement means that there is, through the impact of energy, a connection between at least two units. Okay? And what could that energy be? Well, the strongest energy in the world that connects us is love. So we have this energy that connects us physically. And what happens to one person happens to the other person, or can be experienced by the other person. How many people in here have experienced that in their lives? See? It already works. It's like a car. You don't need to know how it works, and it works. So when you connect with somebody, just like we're doing here, you become a part of them. And when you go further, when you take this further, and you look at Earth, this, maybe you've heard about it, this tiny little blue ball that hurls through space at crazy rates of speed. We are connected because we're together on this planet. Everything that happens to somebody else happens to us as well, because we are connected as a species, as inhabitants of this little blue ball. Now, would it make sense to try to control what other people do? No, it's very difficult. I don't have time to control 8 billion people. So, remember, letting go is always a good idea. But when you can't let go, and you're connected in this, we're in this together, what do? You create a beautiful experience for yourself. You connect beautifully to other people. By connecting beautifully to other people is, for instance, like after you said yes in the morning, you just remember that we're 8 billion people on this planet together hurling through space, and you bless them with love. Imagine everybody would do that. That would be species appropriate. That would be totally species appropriate. That would be like the ultimate Bio and Demeter chicken holding type of experience. So that's, and you can tell how you feel. I'm talking about it, and you can feel it. You can feel how that will feel just to be connected in love with all the other humans on this planet. And now we're lucky because we're in this room together, and there is an entanglement already. We are connected through what science, science would never go like, they were connected through love, because love can't be measured. Isn't that crazy? Science ignores love because it can't be measured. But we know it. We're light years ahead. And we can use love for ourselves. And that is not just because we want to connect beautifully with other people, but also because imagine somebody is connecting with you, like I'm coming to your house, I'm opening the door because I'm connecting, and there's a mess in there. There's such a mess in there. There's like McDonald's papers flying all over the place, and you on your old couch with holes in it, and cigarette burns, you're watching Netflix. And, do you want to be connected to when you're in that state? Probably not. But how do you clean that up? That's actually up to you. But remember that you have a certain responsibility because everybody's connected to you and you are part of the whole. So make sure that you're in the best shape possible. Now, everybody needs to figure out what that means for them specifically. But for me, I need to follow my joy. It's not always easy because my mind comes in the game. And my mind, when I prepared this presentation, my mind said, you need to have a proper layout, you know, like you need to structure everything and you need to look up the scientific facts. I went to a lot of books and read through the books and I was almost able to quote the physicists who had created the studies, and then I realized it's not relevant. And I lost fun. Like 2 days ago, it was my brother's birthday, basically. So if you want to say happy birthday, it's the moment for you, but I'm going to count to 3, and then you can say happy birthday to him. Is that okay for you? Yes. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday!
Thank you!
All right. So on the day of his birthday, it's completely unrelated, I was actually working on this presentation and I did not have fun. I watched myself not having fun. Am I on this planet to not have fun? No, definitely not. And that's why I got self-employed a couple of years ago, because I realized I wasn't having fun. And I thought, I'm white, I'm male, I'm Swiss. These used to be very, very advantageous traits. Yeah. You know, I stopped looking for a job because if you're not black and a woman, it's very difficult anyways today. So, but you know, this is a different topic. But literally, I heard that from a friend, and she does outplacements. She makes sure that the right people go to the right companies, and she said about 40-year-old white males find it very difficult to find a job because they're just not the minority that should be promoted. So I'm happy I already am self-employed, and I will make you an offer afterwards. So if you want to enter into business relationship with me, that will make me even happier. It will keep me from having to apply first with somebody. No, okay. Yeah, that's, where was I? Oh yeah, I wasn't having fun. So I wasn't having fun. And that was a surefire sign for me to stop doing what I was doing, just to go for a walk and to come back. And then we had a beautiful conversation on the evening of your birthday. And I realized what I needed to do is actually just jot down 3 points on a piece of paper like this. And that the presentation, you won't believe it, was a matter of 5 minutes. And here we go, right? And just because I downloaded information from the quantum field because my head got out of the way, I let go of the idea that it needs to be perfect, even though you think it's perfect. 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
Thank you very much. This was manipulative, forgive me. But we're entangled now anyway, so everything, when I manipulate you, it comes back to me, so I will suffer most. So, yeah, that's basically about the quantum entanglement. Make sure you're doing well, okay? Don't do stuff that you don't like, and be very honest with yourself in 2024. I don't want to see anybody doing a job they don't like, okay? When I see you on the street and I ask you if you like your job and you're saying no, I say, come on, quantum entanglement, okay? It's your responsibility. I want to add, can I tell you another story? Because what's the time anyways? Are you having fun?
Yes!
Okay, cool, thank you. Can I tell you another story?
Yes!
So, when I was a coach, I was very much in this world of performance and like scarcity. I was like, You know, the greatest thing I could imagine was 20,000 Swiss francs a month, which I achieved, but it didn't make me happy. And I was very successful, but it didn't create any type of happiness inside of me. And so it was after spending some time in Ibiza this year with beautiful people, when I came back and I realized I need to change everything. I need to stop doing whatever I'm doing. Because I was like, do you know these people? They post on Instagram, on Facebook, and they're trying to make you buy from them, and it's quite obvious, but they're trying to hide it, and it's sort of boring because they, you know, it's just kind of pathetic. Do you know that? How many of you have seen these people on Instagram and the social media? Yeah. Okay, I was one of them. I haven't found I have not found my way out yet. Okay, so if you see any post from me, please forgive me. But I decided to stop everything, and boy, I got so scared. I was on the phone with my lovely brother. It must have been like the 27th of October, so it was a Tuesday evening. It was full moon. Full moon is very bad for me. Like it makes me stop sleep. It makes me very nervous, and it's like. And I'm surprised every full moon that it is full moon again. So I was on the phone with my beautiful brother, and I must have sounded really bad, right? Very sad, very like scared. To the moment, he lives 20 kilometers from Zurich, where I live, and where he says, "I'm now coming to you. You don't sound well." And so he came by car, and that was one of the most beautiful things they've ever done for me. And having him there was like the total game changer. And that's another thing I want to say. There's always people around who will help you through your darkest times, especially when you choose to go through these dark times, because I could have just gone on and repeated the same old story, but it's just not worth it because life is so much bigger. And I just stopped doing anything, and I said, I'm not doing it until I have yes inside of me, like a very clear yes. Everything. It was so scary. It's like water skiing. When you want to water ski, you have to have a certain velocity. Otherwise, you're going to sink down. And for me, it felt like stopping the boat. So I sank in and just felt what it is like to do nothing, absolutely nothing. And then all of a sudden, after my fear had disappeared after a couple nights where I didn't sleep, my body started to produce ideas and good feelings about things that I wanted to do. So I went back to producing music, which I've done since 1995. Went back to producing music. All of a sudden, investment opportunities came along. Crazy. And it's just, I feel it's better to like be very alive and be a part of something big and something where, you know, where people are in with their heart with passion, than to keep the money safe on the bank account or in some ETF stock kind of funds. So yeah, that was my experience this year, and my life has flourished ever since. And what you're hearing now is basically the result of this. So yeah, that's the current state of the nation. Now, thank you. So yeah, I already said that a couple times. Make sure you feel good and let it go, okay? And I just want to say that's what I do with people as a job. That's kind of what I chose to do on this planet. I help people to feel good and let go of things. And I feel the most important thing is to connect to your purpose, because your purpose is what ultimately guides you to your species appropriate keeping, you know, artgerechte Haltung. You will know that you are kept well when you live your purpose. Your purpose is key, is crucial, is the core of everything. A human being needs to feel a meaning in their lives in order to flow with the quantum field, in order to download information, and in order to have a life that is perceived as effortless and beautiful. You need to have that, okay? I'll come to you later, okay? I don't hear well. I have a 70% hearing loss. Okay, come to the front.
Okay, because I have this question, and maybe some other people have that too. So, hi.
What's your name?
Hi, Jeannie.
Oh, nice to meet you, Jeannie.
Nice to meet you too. But what you just said about going for your purpose, but what is when you feel you're living your purpose in a city that you don't want to be in? Is that still your purpose?
Define purpose.
Doing a service-based with everything, with your whole heart for other people.
Is it important where it is?
No.
Not important?
Well, this is the question. It doesn't so matter. It doesn't really feel like a good environment to me, but it feels right to be there for others.
Would you agree that it is a good idea to be in the best environment for you? To use your full power?
I can make it good enough for me there. But it's definitely, if I go to a place where I would be feeling great on an island, but there's, right, not so many people you can help.
What do you do?
I'm an emotional release therapist. I work in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a city that needs it a lot. Yeah.
You need to be physically present with people. She has old ideas coming in, you know. She has ideas of what it means to be of service to people and how that should be done. These are ideas. These may be good ideas and may not be good ideas. It's something that you need to decide for yourself. And the thing is, what I have found very important over the last couple of weeks and months is don't think about it. Ask the question and let it go. You don't need to have all the answers. The answers are there, but in order to receive the answers, you need to ask questions. So it's a very good idea just to stop thinking about it and stop being in a conundrum about it and just be grateful for the beautiful space you've put yourself into. You've put yourself in an amazing space, and now it calls for the next step of your evolution. And you can't do it alone. You need divine support. And the support is there, but you'll block it out when you think about it. You need to stop thinking about it and just say yes every morning and ask the question, what is the right course of action for me? Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Does that make sense for anybody else?
Yes.
Can I get a bigger yes?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so I think, oh yeah, I came up with that. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before, but what has stopped you lies in your shadow, and you need to shine the light into the shadow, right? And we have 4 minutes left, so I'm going very fast. So this is the technology that I use to tap into the quantum field. And you can, for instance, assess the areas of your life. This is the self-assessment. This is the assessment from the quantum field. You can assess which area of your life needs most attention right now. And a lot of people would be surprised to find that things are not the way they thought it is. But then they through that analysis, they find a level of truth and peace that is new to them. And that's the analysis of life. So that's basically, who knows timeline therapy? Has anybody ever done timeline therapy? Yeah, it's a beautiful form of therapy, and that's the virtual way of assessing your life. So it goes like, I know some people can't see it, but it means on the 30th of April, 1999, something happened that changed the course of your life, and you can go and let it go. So that's what I use in my daily work. But you know what? I'm not, and that's aura analysis, and that's a QR code. So if quantum entanglement is not enough for you, and I know for some it's not, this is how to stay in touch with me. And I'm giving away 10 quantum field analysis with the technology that I just outlined. I know I just brushed on it very, very briefly, but you know, if you want to stay in touch and have a conversation about your potential, your purpose, and what feels good for you, and how you can use the quantum physics principle, this is your way to go. You'll find all the links and information behind it. And other than that, I want to respect time. And I want to say thank you very, very much for being here. I'll be around if you have any questions about what I just said and everything else. So, yeah. I want to say Happy New Year, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully see you tonight and celebrate the old and the new year together with you, so we can be entangled. Thank you.